Bubba, I know you're excited about this one. Ask me how many Burmese pythons have been removed from the Everglades.
Rick, I'm not as concerned about that as how many they've killed that they removed. I saw the number over the last 3 years, 5,000. That's a whole lot of hissing and squeezing going on.
5,000.
What did they do with them when they got them?
Invasive Burmese pythons have been removed from the delicate Everglades ecosystem.
But Rick, they always say we relocated every time they have some kind of animal round up. Well, we relocated them to an area.
Yeah.
Where do you relocate these things? Because the Everglades is
get rid of them.
Yeah,
it's the closest thing you'd have. I mean,
I have good news for you. They're trying not to get in trouble with PETA.
Right.
See if you can figure out, because I got a word here I think is helpful.
Yeah, give me the lingo they're using.
Elimination program.
There you go.
Okay, now
how do you eliminate?
Well,
a python?
they're just keeping it down home. I ain't talking about.
I mean, what do you do? A chainsaw to the head? What do you do?
Oh, boy, look at that little thing in the grass, Bubba.
Good gracious.
Right with that?
And
I take a machete and we move on.
you know what? And you would hope that there'd be a lot more boots out there. Man, them things. You ought to be able to get a pair of slacks out of that thing.
The problem about that, Bubba, is he just grabs hold of him and he goes to squeezing.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Look at that.
Somebody needs to just whack
Might
his
as
head
well.
off right
Good.
there.
Looks like Big Red speaking right there.
That's got to be the one right from the Garden of Eden, right
Golly.
there. What a piece of.
Don't put him in a bag. Get
Look,
rid of him.
Get a 12 gauge and end this thing.
Why is he not just taking it out? I mean, they're ruining the ecosystem.
You got his neck. Snap it.
Bubba, would you catch
No.
that snake
How
right
much?
there? Or
No, I
turkey
catch-
hunt when the ticks are out?
I would catch it with a flamethrower.
How much, Bubba, right there with that glove on? Reach down and grab a hold of it.
No
Ain't
money.
happening.
No money. None.
Ain't happening.
None.
Ain't happening.
Huh?
And this guy's going to put it in a pillowcase for somebody.
I think I'd do it for like 30 grand.
I ain't fooling with
Bubba,
that.
would you reach down?
I'd lay with it.
I don't know what Colonel
What's
Sanders
Colonel
is doing.
Sanders
I'll be
doing
honest,
there
I
with
probably
it?
do it for less than 10.
Look, they made a football out of the skin. Look at that. They made a football out of it.
Would you touch the football?
Rick
I don't
Bubba
think
had a
Red will deal with
meltdown in a cartoon one over here. He nearly fought somebody. Don't forget that.
What if they allowed you to be a Power 5 administrator? You make all the rules.
I don't care nothing about it.
All right, what if somebody walked up and they said, if you will reach down, and I'm going to hold it for you, okay? If you'll reach down and just hold it by the neck till we count to.
Yeah, you don't have to attack
for 60 seconds.
Nip.
That you would be completely, any debt you had whatsoever will be paid off. You'd go to zero.
Nope.
Completely debt free.
I'm out.
Are you serious?
Rick, I would let it wrap around me and attempt to squeeze me.
Yeah.
Sleep with it for 24 hours.
They'd say, we're going to let it squeeze you for so long, then we're going to kill it. I would do it.
Right. If they told me you got to go through one night with it somewhere in your house.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't heard that story about that entertainer in London. I actually heard a preacher talking about it this weekend, where he said this guy had trained this python from. He'd had him 20 years since he was just barely born, and had trained him, and he would let him squeeze him, and then at some point he would give the command,
How do
and he
you
would
train
stop.
that?
Well, it's like these people getting a tiger cage or
yeah.
whatever. It's one of these stunts.
I get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, he would give the command, and it would quit. It would uncoil and just go lay in the pile, again, whatever it did.
Well, they've
he
known
would-
each other for 20
he
years.
He was doing this show in London, according to this pastor, I heard, and he gave the command, and it didn't stop. And he realized he had a problem, and he was trying to get help. Everybody thought it was part of the act.
Yeah,
he was
that's a good one. He's acting
so
like he's
it,
dying.
it eventually killed him. So he was saying, and he was comparing it to things that we let stay in our life that we think we got a handle on. Eventually, if it's deadly, it will get you.
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
So you wouldn't just hold it?
no, I ain't messing with no snake.
Bubba, you're debt free.
I mean, handlers are there. All you're doing is that right there. You're just holding it just like that.
Nope. I ain't dealing with it. I don't make no deal with the devil.
I'd do any trick you needed with him.
Oh, sure.